Hi everyone, art journal page, and I'm working in this art journal that is made from 12 by 12s that either I didn't like or were boring, and I just folded them in half and glued them back to back. This is one that's the back of the scrapbook paper. The other way was something boring that I didn't like, so I'm working here. Now this page is basically so I will have a home for these butterflies. These are, well, origami butterflies, and I will leave a link below to how to make them. I've made them a long time ago, and they are supposed to be bookmarks. You can just put them like this, so it's really nice. But so I've made a lot of them, and I still had as you can see, I had them here in my treasure box where I have leftovers that I all try to use. So this whole page is going to be just so I will have a home for these butterflies. And because they are very geometric, although you can do them a little bit differently, and you will see in the link that I will leave below how they are made, you will see that you can do it so it won't look so geometric, so graphic and harsh lines. So putting this aside, I want to start my page with some painty paper. So these are book papers that I had leftover paint that I just put on them, as you can see. And again, I want to use what I have in my stash. You can use whatever painty paper you have, or scrapbook paper, whatever. The only thing is to have fun with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start tearing them apart and just gluing them randomly in my background. I'm using just plain white glue, starting here. Putting it down, and I'm also going on top. Now I'm going to tear them, and I'm going to make them also overlap. Whoops! Only started and already making a mess. Now these book pages are quite thick. Don't remember even which book they came from, so I'm putting down a lot of glue so they will stick. So I want variation in the color. I want it to be a fun page, and I'm using parts of the book pages that have straight line to adhere them to the edges. In the middle, I don't want harsh lines, only in the edges. Like so, and just tearing and having fun with it. And I don't want too much of white lines, so I'm just trimming it by hand. Really doesn't matter. And now I just need to cover the whole thing until I've got a complete background from this papers. Now I've chosen to use purples and magenta. You can use whatever you want. You can go all rainbow on in the back, whatever you like. The only thing is to pick some papers that you like together and just create a background with them. So I'm going to continue tearing pieces and covering the whole page, and then I'll come back. Okay, so we've got the background and it's dry. Now I've got this white edges that usually when I'm doing this kind of background I leave them be, but this time I decided that I don't want them. Now I'm not really concerned about a little bit of white picking out, but where I have too much white I'm just going over with regular felt pen. You can use whatever you like, any kind of marker. That's it if you want to obliterate the white that you have got in the background. I'm going to stencil on top of this background, so a lot of it is going to disappear. This is only the start, but I just didn't want too much white in the back. So in several places, as you can see, I'm just going over with the felt pen. There were times that I've done this kind of background and on purpose I took some kind of marker and went all over the edges of my pieces, and it just gives another kind of effect. So again, anything you choose and feel right for you. Not going over all the edges, just where I don't want to see a lot of white. Good enough for me. So I was really didn't know what to. I knew I wanted to use this stencil. I wanted because it will just go along with this kind of harsh angles I've got on my butterflies, but I didn't know how to go about it. If I want white, if I want black, if I want any kind of other paint, maybe and then I thought maybe gold. So I'm really not sure. I'm thinking that I will start with black, and if I don't like it, then I'll cover it. What's the worst that could happen? So I'm going to take some black paint and we'll see how it goes. Maybe if it won't be enough, then I will give some highlights. I don't know. I'm starting with the black and we'll see where it takes us. So got some black acrylic paint, some makeup sponge that I'm just removing the part where the paint dried on it, and I'm starting in the middle and then I will continue. I can start from here. It really doesn't matter. I just decided to start here. So dabbing excess paint and starting. Okay, so I've got some area covered and I'm lifting it just to see what kind of effect I'm getting, and I kind of like it, so I'm just going to continue stenciling like so. I want to lift it in a minute and see how it looks and if I need to cover it or leave it be. I'm kind of pushing my sponge inside because I've got now a lot of texture from all these paper pieces in the back. Okay, so I like it, and I'm going to continue covering my whole page with this stencil, and then we'll see where it where it goes. I'll be back. Okay, so finished stenciling. Here are my butterflies, and I'm just going to adhere them to my page. Now I'm just putting a little bit of glue also underneath here. It is just origami and I want it flat right now, so I'm just putting a little bit of a glue to keep the wings flattened. Now I really like how my butterflies look with this geometric background, but I still feel they need something to be more prominent on this background, so I'm going to add something. We'll see how it works. I just want to place them so I know where they are on the page. Okay, so I've got this stencil and I want some dots to be around them, and instead of stenciling I think I will just try and use some acrylic pens. I've got some Posca pen, maybe I don't know, maybe gold. I'll start with this yellow and we'll see how it looks. Just want something to brighten the background and also frame, well, some kind of framing for each butterfly. So I'm just going like this, and we'll see how it looks. If I don't like it, again I can cover it. Just trying, and we'll see. I don't know. Maybe. I'm gonna continue with this and we'll see where it takes me. I think I will add some color inside each of these little circles that I'm doing right now. Maybe now use the gold, like, and maybe some more dots in between. Yeah, I think that's how I'm going to go about it until I feel that's what's needed for this page. And of course, sometimes you just need to know where to stop. So I'm going to continue doing the same thing over these other butterflies, and I'll come back. Okay, finished with all these dots around my butterflies. I just want to add some splatter, so I've got some yellow acrylic paint here with a little bit of water, and I'm using a fan brush, and I want most of my splatter around and not on the butterflies, so I'm just making some cover, not that important, but a little bit of coverage. Yeah, I think this is it, that I can live with this. And although it's not mostly I don't do geometric, but I found a nice place for my butterflies. So this is it. Thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments down below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.